Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's micro teaching session where we talk about the relationship between human trafficking and pornography. My name is Raquel, and last week's micro teaching session, we talked about human trafficking, but in much more of a broad sense. And we did look at the crisis, and I may have mentioned pornography, but I was unable to go into specifics on the relationship that it has with human trafficking. Like I said, like I said last session, the human trafficking is like an umbrella. There's so many things that fall under it, so many different pieces and things that impact it, things that have a relationship with it, to definitions and statistics. And one of those things is pornography. And I think it's so important to talk about and understand that there is a relationship during this societal age because we live in such an exploitative culture. And I'm going to talk a little bit about lawsuits, um, and talk a little bit more about the just like how this exploitative culture is really impacting, recruitment online. And it's quite scary and it's not talked about a lot. So I'm glad I have this opportunity where I hope that you can gain something from this. So we're also going to go over definitions, statistics, supply and demand, social media, like I said before, strip clubs, porn sites, policy and change, and finally, what can we do about this? And I hope that you reflect on, and in terms of it learning here and after this, say, what can I do, maybe to make a difference. So for course expectations, really just be respectful, complete your work, and due to the sensitive nature of this topic, if you need more time or you need to leave, just let me know. We'll be on our way. Let's just see. Yeah. And just due to sensitive nature, if you can't complete something, let me know and we'll figure it out. Um, this is one of my favorite quotes, and I think it's important to just put here is that two of the biggest culprits in the trafficking industry are the pornography industry and strip clubs. We're going to talk a little bit that more as you go down, but I just wanted you to see that. So pornography is a huge money making market and um, is a huge money making industry. And this is very interesting. So before, how I was saying about the exploitative culture and with Instagram and how there's, a lot of sex work that's, advertised through there, through Instagram accounts. So what a research project did was they looked at 97 social media Instagram accounts, and they found that of OnlyFans creators. And if you're unfamiliar what OnlyFans is, it's a it's a site where an individual can put out um, just like material and connect with customers regarding their porn that they're selling. Um, and so it's again a supply and demand scenario. And yeah, so and those 97 public Instagram accounts of OnlyFans creators, and 36% of those were third party accounts, which were indicators that this would be, could potentially be trafficking related, because it's suspicious when you see like a third party involved, because after all, like OnlyFans is supposed to be like independence and this is where you're engaging with people. But when a third party is like controlling the account and controlling the Instagram account from this independent OnlyFans creator, then it's a little sketchy, and so yeah, so the research, so that's a research right there. Then what's teen porn has tripled between just 2005 to 2013. So these aren't like old statistics. These are relevant. And the most popular um, one of the most popular searches in Pornhub is teen and youth, and that's just only increased. And so this is why we talk about kind of how dangerous all of this is. And when we start to really look at what people are searching on these pornography sites, it's very disturbing. So, human trafficking, sex trafficking, we covered that last time, but human trafficking is the use of force, fraud, or coercion a for labor or commercial sex act or things like debt bondage. And sex trafficking, more so like forced to have sex, or they're underage and they're told that they need to have sex for this reason or this reason. Those are just some examples. I'm not sure if you've heard of any places in your area that um, deal with this type of, um, or like any stories, like highly visible social media accounts and a highly social media, and where they put um, exploitative photos on social media. And then e-pimps, we'll talk about that a little bit more. So there's a supply and demand of pornography. I don't have much time, but I just wanted you to see that there's a buyer, there's a victim, and there's a trafficker. This can be related to pornography, and it is. It's difficult to deny that there's something between, um let's go see. Yeah, so here. So you have the supply, which is this, content that you're putting out, and then it increases the type of porn that wants to be put out. Like, as we've seen before, teen porn should not be something that's searchable, but it is, and that's the what's being put out, and the demand is wanting this all. Um, let's just see. Okay. So the certain types of porn and empirical evidence exists for trafficked persons advertised online for sexual exploitations. The porn industry is fueled by human trafficking through the internet. And there's also a lot of lack of research on highly visible social media. So that's something that we can do to help and try to promote for more research on this. Internet sales over the internet, a very disturbing industry, has increased. And like before, Twitter and Instagram are very like criminal friendly tools. And um, another thing is personal exchange through this is where the material is coming from. This here are just some lawsuits regarding pornography and Pornhub, and Instagram, like Meta, is being sued for, you know, failing to shield child from predators, because uh, there's a lot of underage content on there. So much so where such a high percentage was taken off after Pornhub essentially admitted to having like a 15-year-old girl missing on there. Um, and then even after she's out, like someone uploaded those as like revenge porn. Um, and oh yeah, so you see here proceeds of Pornhub parent company. I'm not sure if that's MindGeek, admits to receiving proceeds of sex trafficking. Yeah. So it's not like it's fake. There's been lawsuits on it, and they've had to suffer repercussions. To what extent? Strip clubs and trafficking. Here's some. I know I don't have much time left, but here's someone saying I was being trafficked through strip clubs. And usually with strip clubs, there are, yeah, and here you go. Usually with also strip clubs, it can be drugs as well. OnlyFans. So child exploitation is happening. Where I think OnlyFans takes a certain percentage, and then if you're a victim and your trafficker is taking a lot of the percentage, you might be left with literally nothing that you're being made to your account. There's things called e-pimps, and OnlyFans has become a use criminal friendly thing, because see, if you see here in these charts as well, from a research article I'll share later, which shows how much the trafficker is making and how much the victim of the trafficker is making. and also is the subscribers, how many are those people, but yeah, so as you could tell, the victim of the trafficker is not nearly making as much as the trafficker is. So what can we do about this? Well, one of the things is research, and what we can do is just to promote research, and we can go and spread awareness and advocate, look out for signs, um, and be very, very careful on social media because, like I said before, Instagram and there, yeah, just be very careful because also the grooming, the reports of groomers and human trafficking, like recruiters or EPIMS, has increased on Instagram and Facebook as well, um, and Twitter. So I hope that, in further discussions, I can post more and talk more about this. But as of now, let's just put an end to it. And I hope you can reflect on this as well, because I'm sure that there's places in your area, right? So if you want, like, go search like sex trafficking, like bust in the area, or uh, illegal strip club, or just type online sex trafficking um, and strip clubs or sex trafficking and OnlyFans, and you could dive in and you could do so much more of your own research. And that's what got me into learning all about this. So I hope you can go away and ask yourself this question: what can I do to help prevent human trafficking?